So we're going to zoom in on the harp and we're going to take a close look today at tucking. Now, the biggest issue that I see with people with regards to tucking is that their fingers are too high on the string. So here I am with my thumb on the C string, the red string, and my 2 just below on the B. And all I'm going to do is tuck under to the D string. That's it, just 3 strings in a row. B, C, D, and with that little movement, I get to practice a tuck by tucking my finger 2 under to my D, plucking my thumb, and then finishing my motion on that D string. So the most common issue that we see with tucking is that people haven't got a big enough gap between the thumb and the 2. In other words, their 2 is too high on the strings, or even sometimes the thumb is too straight on the string. And so you can see now I've got this little gap between my thumb and my 2. My thumb's come down the string, it's too low, and it's also straight onto the string. And what that means is once I've plucked this finger 2, when I try and put it under, I just don't have enough space. So I'm all crushed up, I don't have enough space, and I certainly don't have enough space to effectively pluck my thumb. So that was my thumb coming straight on. If I keep my thumb up nice and high and I bring my finger 2 up too high, you can see almost the same thing happens. My thumb's still side on, but as I pluck my 2 and tuck it under, even though I'm side on, you can see my hand's gone all crushed up and I just don't have anywhere to pluck, to bend this thumb to. So my first tip for you is make sure you've got a lovely big gap between your finger 2 placing on the string and your thumb. Now, here's where I do a little caveat of my hands. My hands are small, my fingers are small, and when I place my fingers on the strings, they look very straight. Okay, there's very little curve in my fingers here. They're very straight. Now it's all right for me to do that because I have small hands. But if my fingers were longer, if I had bigger hands, placing my fingers so long on the strings would actually be, it's not necessarily uncomfortable, but when you have longer fingers, it's harder to control them when they're so long and straight on the string. So if you have longer fingers, your fingers might look a bit more curved, and that's okay. But what we don't want is for our knuckles to come above our thumb. So you can see here, this is my natural hand position. My fingers are quite long, and if I was going to tuck, I'd have so much space. But similarly, if your fingers were a bit longer, if you were rounded a little bit more, and you tucked, look, you still have lots of space. Okay, or if I was tucking this finger or this finger, still lots of space. But if my knuckles go above my thumb, then when I go to tuck, it's all squashed up and I don't have enough space. So tip number 1, make sure you have enough space between your thumb and your 2. Now a great way to practice this, very simple, just the little exercise that I just did to demonstrate. You don't have to use your thumb on the red. You can do this anywhere in the harp. In fact, it's probably a good idea to do it in different places because your approach is going to be slightly different. But we'll stick with here for just now. So just with your hand on the harp and just plucking your 2 in, bending it under, bending the thumb and finishing the movement. Place under, nice and low on the string, not high on the string, low on the string. Bend the thumb and pluck to finish. Okay? And that is a good enough warm-up for you to practice the art of tucking. It doesn't have to be any more complicated than that. And in actual fact, often simplicity is the best. You know, when you're practicing these skills, these foundational skills, practicing them in a simple and effective way really can give you more benefit. At least starting in a simple and effective way, checking in. How is my tucking? How is the space between my thumb and my finger? checking in before you start elaborating and doing anything more than that.